Good evening. It is time for dinner. We're on Leviticus chapter 6. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, When any being sins and committed a trespass against Jehovah, and has lied to his neighbor about a deposit, or about a pledge, or about a robbery, or shall extort from his neighbor, or has found what was lost and has lied concerning it, or did swear falsely, so that a sin in regard to any one of all these that a man does, then it shall be when he sins and shall be guilty, that he shall return what he took by robbery, or what he has extorted, or the deposit which was deposited with him, or the lost item which he found, or all that about which he swore falsely. He shall repay its total value, add 1/5 more to it, and give it to whom it belongs on the day of his full guilt offering. Then he brings his guilt offering to Jehovah, a ram, a perfect one, from the flock, with your valuation as a guilt offering to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him before Jehovah, and he shall be forgiven for whatever he did that made him guilty. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the ascending offering. This is the ascending offering because it is burned on the slaughter place all night until morning, and the fire of the slaughter place is kept burning on it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and put his linen trouser on his body, and shall take up the ashes of the ascending offering, which the fire has consumed on the slaughter place, and shall put them beside the slaughter place. And he shall take off his garments, and put on other garments, and shall bring the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. And the fire on the slaughter place is kept burning on it. It is not put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and arrange the ascending offering on it, and shall burn on the fat of the peace offerings. Fire is continually kept burning on the slaughter place. It is not put out. And this is the Torah of the grain offering. The sons of Aharon shall bring it near before Jehovah, in front of the slaughter place, and shall take from it with his hand from the fine flour of the grain offering, and from its oil, and all the frankincense which is on the grain offering, and shall burn it on the slaughter place, for a sweet fragrance as its remembrance portion to Jehovah. And Aharon and his sons eat the rest of it. It is eaten with unleavened bread in the set-apart place. They eat it in the courtyard of the tent of appointment. It is not baked with leaven. I have given it to them as their portion of my offering made by fire. It is most set apart, like the sin offering and the guilt offering. All the males among the children of Aharon eat it, a law forever in your generations concerning the offerings made by fire to Jehovah. All that touches them is to be set apart. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, This is the offering of Aharon and his sons, which they bring near to Jehovah, beginning on the day when he is anointed, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, as a daily grain offering, half of it in the morning and half of it in the evening. It is made on a griddle with oil. Bring it in mixed. Bring the baked portion of the grain offering near, a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And the anointed priest from among his sons, who is in his place, prepares it, a law forever to Jehovah. All of it has to be burned, and every grain offering for the priest is completely burned. It is not eaten. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aharon and to his sons, saying, This is the Torah of the sin offering. In the place where the ascending offering is slain, the sin offering is slain before Jehovah. It is most set apart. The priest who is making atonement eats it. In the set apart place it is eaten, in the courtyard of the tent of appointment. All that touches its flesh is to be set apart, and when its blood is sprinkled on any garment, you wash that on which it was sprinkled in a set apart place. But the earthen vessels in which it is cooked is to be broken, and it is cooked in a bronze pot. Then it is scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests eats it. It is most set apart. And no sin offering from which any of the blood is brought into the tent of appointment is to make atonement in the set apart place, is eaten. It is burned with fire. And this is the Torah of the guilt offering. It is most set apart. The guilt offering is slain in the place where they slay the ascending offering, and its blood is sprinkled on the slaughter place all around. Then he brings from it all its fat, the fat tail and the fat that covers the entrails, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is on them by the loins, and the appendage on the liver, which he removes from the kidneys, removes with the kidneys. And the priest shall burn them on the slaughter place as an offering made by fire to Jehovah. It is a guilt offering. Every male among the priests eats it. It is eaten in the set apart place. It is most set apart. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. There is one Torah for them both. The priest who makes atonement with it, it is his. And the priest who brings anyone's ascending offering, the skin of the ascending offering which he has brought, is the priest's, it is his. And every grain offering that is baked in the oven, and all that is prepared in the stewed pot or on a griddle, it is the priest's who bring it, it is his. And every grain offering mixed with oil or dry, it is all for the sons of Aharon, for all alike. And this is the Torah of the slaughtering of peace offering, which is brought to Jehovah. If he brings it for a thanksgiving, then he shall bring with the slaughtering of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened thin cakes anointed with oil, or cakes of finely blended flour mixed with oil. Besides the cakes he brings as his offering leavened bread, together with the slaughtering of thanksgiving of his peace offering. And from it he shall bring 1 cake from each offering as a contribution to Jehovah. To the priest who sprinkles the blood of the peace offering, it is his. As for the flesh of the slaughtering of his peace offering for thanksgiving, it is eaten the same day it is offered. He does not leave any of it until morning. And if the slaughtering he brings is a vow or a voluntary offering, it is eaten the same day that he brings his slaughtering, and what is left of it is eaten the next day. But whatever is left of the flesh of the slaughtering on the 3rd day is burned with fire. However, if any of the flesh of the slaughtering of his peace offering is eaten at all on the 3rd day, it is not accepted. It is not reckoned to him who brings it. It is unclean to him. And the being who eats of it bears his crookedness. And the flesh that touches that which is unclean is not eaten. It is burned with fire. And as for the clean flesh, all who are clean eat of it. But the being who eats the flesh of the slaughtering of peace offerings that belongs to Jehovah, while he is unclean, that being shall be cut off from his people. And when a being who touches that which is unclean, of the uncleanness of man, or of the uncleanness of beast, or of any unclean abomination, and shall eat of the flesh of the slaughtering of peace offering that belong to Jehovah, that being shall be cut off from his people. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Do not eat any fat of bull or sheep or goat, and the fat of the dead body, and the fat of what is torn is used for any purpose, but you do not eat it at all. For whoever eats the fat of the beast, of which men bring as an offering made by fire to Jehovah, even the being who eats it shall be cut off from his people. And do not eat any blood in any of your dwellings, of birds or of beasts. And any being who eats any blood, even that being shall be cut off from his people. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, He who brings his slaughtering of peace offering to Jehovah, bring his offering to Jehovah from the slaughtering of his peace offering. With his own hand he brings the offering made by fire to Jehovah. He brings that fat with the breast to be waved as a wave offering before Jehovah. And the priest shall burn the fat on the slaughter place, but the breast shall be Aharon's and his sons. And the right thigh you give to the priest as a contribution from the slaughtering of your peace offerings. He among the sons of Aharon who bring the blood of the peace offering, and the fat, the right thigh, for a portion. For the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the contribution I have taken from the children of Israel, from the slaughterings of their peace offerings, and I give them to Aharon, the priest, and to his sons, as a law forever from the children of Israel. This is the anointed portion for Aharon, and the anointed portion for his sons, from the offerings made by fire to Jehovah, on the day when Moshe presented them to serve as priests to Jehovah, which Jehovah commanded to be given to them by the children of Israel, on the day that he anointed them, a law forever throughout their generations. This is the Torah of the ascending offering, and the grain offering, and of the sin offering, and of the guilt offering, and of the ordinations, and of the slaughtering of peace offerings, which Jehovah commanded Moshe on Mount Sinai, on the day when he commanded the children of Israel to bring their offerings to Jehovah in the wilderness of Sinai.